So once you start to understand where your domain is at, then the next thing really is to look at your competitor analysis. So what is going on with your different competitors? And one important thing to look at, I think, so this is just a screenshot from SEMrush, but underneath here towards the bottom, there's a section where SEMrush actually lists the competitors that it perceives that you have. And one thing that's really important is that you want to make sure that whether or not they're really your true SEO competitors, because there's kind of a difference. There are business model competitors. So like one CRM to another CRM, those are going to be business model competitors. But maybe they have completely different industry targets. And so SEMrush doesn't actually view them as a competitor because they talk about different topics. So sometimes there's a gap there from the information that it shows. So when you're looking at this portion, make sure you again do kind of some manual checking to make sure the competitors actually make sense. And one way you might kind of determine whether or not they do is to just do like a Google search of something based on the type of product or service that you're selling and see what results come up for exactly that. And that's a good idea to compare what SEMrush says with the competitors that are listed there, and just get an idea of basically the same information from them. So look at how you compare in your domain overview versus their domain overview, and then start to get an idea of where they're at in their strategy, if there are things to improve on or not. In the case of DocuSign, then we can see that these organic competitors here, SEMrush does, I think, largely have them correct. HelloSign, we see actually some cannibalization here with the Canadian version of DocuSign. PandaDoc and SignEasy definitely, I guess. DigiSigner, I haven't heard of them, but I would assume those are all basically both business model and SEO competitors. But if you have a specific niche, then it may be totally different. So a couple things that you'll want to look at when you're going through this information. The biggest thing is going to be a keyword gap analysis. So when you do a gap analysis, basically this means that you're comparing the keywords that you're ranking for versus the keywords that your competitors are ranking for. So SEMrush allows you to compare up to 4 competitor domains. So I tend to look at my domain that I'm researching plus 4 others because it creates some really nice visuals. And then you compare top opportunities, missing. So these are keywords that your domain doesn't have rankings for, but everyone else does. If you have selected your competitors accurately, missing keywords are great ones that you can strive to create content for. And Untapped is keywords for which your domain doesn't have rankings for, but at least one competitor does. So when you put that all together, this is it's the keyword gap section in SEMrush here, and you can see that you put in your competitor domains here, and then you compare them, and it gives you this. Even though it's called keyword gap, the visual is the keyword overlap, so it's actually just taking the data but reverse, and it shows the keywords that you have in common. Top opportunities is this box here, and then below this is a longer spreadsheet where you can filter for these things. And that's a really good way to start your keyword analysis and start doing keyword research that you put into a longer list.